big segment. Now, today we've got 3 interesting topics, but before I get started, I want to say hello to my buddy here, Chris Dawkins, and my
Hey,
buddy over here, Caleb Alexander. Is Clarence Thomas the enemy from within? We already have a situation where the Voting Rights Act is at risk. But what Clarence Thomas is trying to do is to totally remove Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, which basically, summarizing, it keeps the states, especially those southern states, from doing things that are discriminatory towards, in this case, black folks or anybody else that they think is black in behavior, from voting. Case in point, the poll tax was a highly discriminatory piece. Gerrymandering is a new day type of violation, even though they don't say it's racial, but for what they're doing, it is. So Clarence is really hell bent on giving states the opportunity to reinstate a lot of this stuff. Poll tax like examples, literacy tests, all kind of, you have to bring in, just trying to hijack the voting opportunities, and particularly for black folks. So, is Clarence Thomas the enemy from within?
yes. Thank you, folks. This has been Hot Topic. That's as good, the quickest, shortest, most succinct answer I could give. So, no, he is. He's always been. But and to broaden it out, these folks are not just enemies for black folks. They're enemies for progress, modernity, the entire Constitution, the entire American way of life. These folks are. They're dangerous. This Roberts Court is it should go down as in history as one of the worst courts in the history of the United States. This is a highly politicized court. I've never seen a court more politicized than this one. They are nothing but a shield or arm for the Republican Party. You can see it in their decisions. Example, they ruled that Biden couldn't modify student loan and allow student loan forgiveness, but they allowed Trump to dismantle an entire government department without congressional approval.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so this is a wing of the Republican Party. In this Roberts Court, he has lost control of the court. He has allowed it to just be held hostage by the worst elements of society. It's Thomas is probably the beating heart. Now that Scalia's gone, he is probably the guiding star for a lot of the court's worst impulses. He's taking over Scalia's role.
What's interesting about Clarence Thomas, if you think about what Kamala said, that she wasn't going to do anything specific to black people, then you got Thomas. It looked like he's doing a lot of things targeting black people,
right.
And so when I looked at that voting rights section 2, I think look at that one plus sections 4 and 5. He is really giving these southern states, in particularly, the opportunity to really put more voter suppression games. It's called games against minorities, in particularly black folks. What are your thoughts?
It's very difficult for me to even talk about Clarence Thomas. He's such a disappointment. As it relates to the Voting Rights Act, I've already been disappointed with Clarence Thomas, period. I'm not so much worried about him anymore as I am, will this country allow this president that we currently have to either stay for a third term or to be able to, that we may not have midterm elections? To me, that's the most important thing. So that brings me back to Clarence Thomas in the court. If we don't have that, because in our last segment, we were talking about education.
Mm-hmm.
So the only hope that we have right now, immediate, would be is if we can vote some new people in. But as we speak, coming Monday, you're going to have a new session in Texas, a special session.
And this is hot topic too, we're about to roll into.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. Take it.
We're about to have redistricting in the state of Texas. So, and one of the things I really, really think about, I mean, it's not just that, but when you talk about the redistricting, one of the things that always comes up in my mind is they want to silence Jasmine Crockett.
Mm-hmm.
And they figure this is
Al Green.
And Al Green. And this is one of the ways I think that they can do that. So from my standpoint, it's all about the Supreme Court. It's all about what's going to happen to our government and whether or not we can save ourselves. And if we can't save ourselves in the structure that's already there, then we're going to have to create something within. We got to go back to a Black Wall Street to be able to do stuff in our own community for our own selves and not worry about anything else.
Now I'm trying to get the terms in my head. I know one term is called packing, and I
Mm-hmm.
can't think of the other term, so I'll have to describe it. But this gerrymandering that they may try to do, they're going to try to do. I know they're going to be looking at Houston, and especially and particularly Dallas, and then any other area where they have a high concentration of Hispanics. And so they may try to pack a district
Mm-hmm.
where they put all Hispanic voters into one district, pack another district with all Black, pack another district with all Black, whatever. And then any of us who don't live within those districts will be kind of sprinkled to where that's where they try to diminish
Right. Your voting strength.
voting strength.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, Jasmine is out there right now talking about this, and the fact that they're going to pull in a special session when they should be talking about this situation down in Kerrville. They're going to be, the bulk of it is going to be done.
Well, they said they were going to talk about Kerrville, but they had already had the special session already in play. But they said, we're going to talk about the water and the different stuff like that.
Mhm.
And they brought that up to the front. But that's not really what this is about. This is about the redistricting. And from what I understand, I think for them to do redistricting now in the state of Texas is probably illegal. But it goes back to what we were talking about before. If the Supreme Court is going to uphold those things that were illegal before, then we're in real serious trouble.
Especially now that we don't have legal or the civil rights agencies.
Right.
We don't have those anymore.
Right.
Well, I mean, we cannot depend on the Supreme Court anymore. They are a part of the Republican Party. The Supreme Court is not going to protect anyone. They're not going to uphold the Constitution. They are not. They are going to roll over and 100% support whatever Republican agenda, no matter how crazy, how wild. They are 100% all in. As far as
You're talking about the 6 or the 9.
I'm talking about, I mean, the court as a whole, because the other 3 can't do anything.
Right.
But I hope this is a lesson, because every time the Democrats get in power, they want to take the high ground, and we're not like them, and we have the moral authority. Well, you see where the moral authority gets you. You know what I'm saying? They're not even bringing a knife to a gunfight. They bringing a slingshot to a gunfight. The Republicans get in power, they don't care. You know, they run roughshod over the Constitution. They run roughshod. They make sure that they are going to remain in power. They play dirty. And that this needs to be a lesson to the Democrats.
So this is what I'm seeing on TikTok on the subject, especially with a lot of millennials and Gen Zers on it, right? Encouraging the blue states, the big blue states in particular, especially that one over there in California. Go ahead and, you know, because Newsome has already said that if Texas does it, he's going to redistrict the state of California to where they do 5, they may do 6 or 7, just to make sure. And so now what's happening, the Gen Zers in particular and the millennials are on TikTok, supporting blue states to go ahead and redistrict as well.
They should. See what happens if they like New York or New Jersey to redistrict. You know what I mean? I don't think they would really like that. Oh, you know, they I mean, in New York, and redistrict in a way that there would never be another Republican seat in the state. You know what I mean? And California could do it the same way.
And Newsom's already tired, you know, so he said he's going to do it.
You need some people who with cojones that play the same game, who are not afraid to get in the mud with these folks and to fight like they fight and play dirty like they play dirty. That's what you need. You really need some people with some cojones. I honestly think Tim Walz would, you know what I mean, if he runs and if he wins, I think he'd be the guy to say, you know what, all of y'all who illegally rounded up folks, y'all going to prison. And they need to be held accountable. Homeland Security, the mask agents, Christie Nome, they all need to go to prison. They really do. The state cases that were dismissed against Trump, they need to be brought back up again.
Let me just say something else. We're off the rails with this conversation. But
we're talking about the courts, right? Well, hey, it's all
we off the rails. But what I was going to say is that you brought up ICE. Do you know that they were talking about now? I think there's been a court order to say that they can continue to wear the mask.
We continue to wear masks.
Yeah, they can continue to wear masks, which I think is absurd.
Absolutely.
But they're letting them do that.
Yeah. And masks, you pull up, rounding up people. And see what's gonna happen is they're gonna run up on some folks with the mask on, and people are gonna think they're getting jacked. And then what are gonna be the consequences? What's the law gonna say then? Hey man, these people ran up on me, masked people, they didn't have any badges up, they didn't have any, you know what I'm saying, they weren't in uniform.
They're gonna make you illegal. You took illegal. You took force against a federal agent.
How do I know they were federal agents?
You're gonna go on.
Don't make no difference.
Reading about you writing articles from if they allow you to have a laptop down at Alligator.
But they ain't coming after me because they can look at
Alligator Alcatraz. Is that where they gonna sit him?
They can look at me and
Hey, we can't even come get you. Alligator Alcatraz.
Like I said, I was coming back from the border area. They looked at me and I looked at them. They were like, "Man, get out of here!" You know?
Right.
So, well, we got one more topic.
What's that?
The possible pardoning of Diddy and Ghislaine Maxwell. Is it going to happen?
So, you know what?
Will it happen?
I don't think so. I think he is running from this Maxwell and Epstein. He is running from that. So I mean, it's like I'm sitting here thinking like, you know what? They're gonna release the files after they remove all the Republicans from the files. They're gonna release them. You know, she needs time to clean those files up and get Trump's name out of all of them, get all the Republican names out of them before she releases them. You know, and which made
She's saying there's no list.
Now
so they're gonna come up with a list after they said there was no. They said there was
a list.
First there was a list, right? Then there's no list.
Now there's no list.
Okay.
And then now they release some files.
Okay.
You know, so apparently there was a list with some files, and now if they turn around and they release all of them, who's gonna fall on their sword and say, oh well, there was a list? Trump ain't gonna fall on their sword. Is he gonna blame Nome? Is he gonna blame Kash Patel? who's he gonna blame? Who's playing this hot potato saying there was a foul, there wasn't a foul, there was a foul, there wasn't a foul?
So what about P. Diddy?
I say yes.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh,
If I was Trump,
Wait
and
a minute, because look at this right here.
right,
You know,
mhm.
there's a reason why he's still alive.
Was
Who?
he? Who? P. Diddy?
P. Diddy,
Was Trump at the baby oil parties?
no,
What?
I don't think so.
I don't think P. Diddy has enough on him.
No, here's my reasoning for it.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy was going to give the court, the federal court,
Mm-hmm.
$500 million,
Mm-hmm.
okay, to be able to let him go out on
What?
house
Bond?
arrest.
You talking
Yeah.
about bond or something?
house
like
arrest.
that?
Yeah.
They
So
don't keep it.
they, huh?
They don't get to keep it.
No,
Mhm.
but they refused that.
Okay.
Okay, they didn't take that. So Trump says, "Give me that $500 million, and I'll erase your record."
I mean, you know what? Put like their graft, their corruption is out in the open. It is. You know what I'm saying? No doubt. Would that be a bridge too far?
Okay, with the Colbert thing. Okay, with Colbert, they said the suit that was against it was Trump with a suit against CBS,
Mm-hmm.
and he got the money.
Who?
Trump.
Yeah.
It was like $16 million or something like
But
that.
that had to do with it was ridiculous. It was about Kamala Harris and modifying her statement, or it was something stupid.
But it
They shouldn't
doesn't.
have paid off. They shouldn't have paid
It
out.
doesn't really matter what it was about. It's the fact that he was there and he got the money personally, which he probably should not have got. There should have never been a suit, and none of this should have gone forward.
Yeah.
And then the
CBS
question
told-
becomes: was there a backroom deal to get rid of
What? Colbert?
Colbert because of all the stuff he talks about Trump every
Yeah,
night?
but everybody does it.
Everybody.
John Stewart talks about him. Bill
Yeah.
Maher. I mean, it's like everybody talks about him. You know what I mean? But
Hey,
CBS is just running scared. CBS is,
Colbert may be a lesson.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, no. Let me change that. So, I think we are at a dangerous inflection because once the media starts running from the politicians, we're in trouble. And when the media starts canning people who are going after Trump, we're in trouble.
Another show that I think that we should do in the future is, if you haven't looked at it, I think you should look at what what's her name from Atlanta, Stacey Abrams,
Mhm.
and what she says about this whole process.
Mm-hmm.
And she has, I think, 10 different steps of what's going to go and how this thing is going to happen. And we're almost at the last step, which she says will be no midterm election.
If Elon Musk can get this third party going, and whatever they did technology wise
Mm-hmm.
to
Put Trump in office.
put Trump in office, it's going to happen again, whether with Trump
With his
or
Elon's third party.
with his third party.
Yeah.
And so the Democrat Party needs to really have a really serious meeting about how they can, or if they can, combat this, because Elon Musk saying that he has what's his name?
Peter Thiel.
Peter Thiel
Mm-hmm.
backing this third party. Well, that's dangerous right there.
Yeah, because Peter Thiel is also supporting
J.D. Vance.
J.D. Vance.
But see, here's the deal. The Democrats need to,
Get dirty.
and they need to have a sit down with Musk. And they need to just be like, look, you know who we are. We're the hit, love Tesla, we love electronic EVs. Roll with us, and we guarantee you, you know what I'm saying, in 20 years, everybody in the country will be driving EV. You know what I mean?
I think what this shows is that everybody is going,
Everybody can be bought.
everybody's going to be fighting each other. Okay. Well, you got, Trump and his situation, they want to make sure that there's no election. The Democrats and Musk They want to make sure that there is election. But if there is an election, Musk wants to have, like you said, his electronics and his apparatus to be able to skew the election. But the Democrat,
where is that satellite? Didn't that satellite drop out the sky?
He has a whole constellation of them.
Wasn't there a satellite that dropped out the sky after the election?
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, look, the Democrats are tree huggers. They want EVs. Could have deal with Musk. We were on the road to, you know what I'm saying, we had legislation that was in place that we were mandating, you know what I'm saying,
Because AOC
stronger emission status.
Had a Tesla.
she got rid of it, didn't she?
And Bernie and a lot of the Democrats are environmentalists. Why not cut it? I don't see why Musk is aligned with Trump when the Democrats would seem to fit his pocket and fit his board members' pocket better. Because not we, but the Democrats are the ones who are more, proponents of moving toward EVs and ending combustion engines and environmental standards, and all this benefits Musk's pocket. I don't know why they should have cut a deal with Musk a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? And open up those pocketbooks for their party.
So back to your question, yes, I think P. Diddy will get a pardon.
I don't think he has enough. I don't think
you don't think he has enough what?
I don't think he has enough stroke and enough juice because
Man,
him and Trump been together for a long time.
But you gotta understand.
Change your word.
What did he say?
Enough stroke and enough.
But the problem is, though, remember, Trump is beholden to a bunch of racist apartheids, right? So can you see Stephen Miller giving the nod to
yes, money trumps anything else, and they figure that's $500 million that he's got that he won't have if he gives it to him, and if he wants his freedom, that's what's happening. They take his money.
You got a whole lot. He has to appeal to his racist base. And P. Diddy is
in that picture right there. He's probably looking at them black women over there.
Yeah. P. Diddy, remember,
P. Diddy saying, "I can get you that one."
He's a rapper. He's black, young, and not only is he a rapper, he's a successful rapper.
He's
billionaire.
a thug like Trump.
He is everything that he is white folks' nightmare. A successful young black person.
But not if they strip him of all the money. Not if they strip him of his money. He's just another N-word. I don't know about his base ain't gonna roll with that. Speaking of N-word, did you guys hear about what the white folks are saying? That they want to be able to use the N-word now? Do you know?
They've always used it. What stopped them?
Their N-word is Nazi.
They want to be able to use.
Yeah, what up, my Nazi?
Oh, it doesn't stop them.
What up, my Nazi?
I'm sure they call each other a whole lot of stuff. And I just want the Nazis and the Confederates to fight. That's what I want.
Well, I don't know if you were aware of this, but the Nazi flag was outlawed in Germany.
Yeah.
But what they're using is the Confederate flag instead.
They need to.
We're off the rails with our topic.
Yeah, I know. I know where we at. Where are we at? Yeah.
It's them, okay? So this is Contemporary Black Voices, where this is our Hot Topic segment. And before we sign off, we want to thank Carl Booker for allowing us to go off the rails periodically. He's our producer. And with that being said, this is Contemporary Black Voices, where we tell our story our way.
All right.